Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Business, MYB Talk Radio, the business radio talk show that talks all about business. I'm your host, Miss Robin Annette, and MYB Talk Radio is brought to you by Mothership Productions. You can follow us, MYB Talk Radio and Mothership Productions, on Twitter, like us on Facebook, drop us a line. We want to know what's on your biz mind. And under Mothership Productions, let's talk business on LinkedIn. Call in and leave your comment, 1-877-704-1010 and 410-481-1010, or listen live on WOLB's Baltimore.com. Today's topic phrase is, guys, True People of Business, Volume 2. This is a two-part series. If you were listening, unfortunately, Sandy kind of interrupted us a little bit, but you were able to hear the previous show, which was about women. It was the True People of Business, Volume 1, Women. Well, today is Volume 2. Fellas, I'll be getting on you guys. This is the men. And my partner's laughing because he, of course, knows about business. But first, let me ask you guys some questions. I'll go into a little bit of news. Questions, guys. When you guys call in, here's what you got to think about. 1, how can our men in today's business world be better in the business? What are some of the bad habits that you all have come in contact with on the job, project management environments, or just plain old contract to contract? And of course, how can we improve? We want to learn from yesterday's business, learn from the way we have been conducting ourselves and handling our business, and how can we be better personally and professionally in this business world. So, as I said, a little news for you first. On CNNMoney.com, 3 million iPads were sold. This is the mini pad they just came out with. And in 3 days, guys, they sold. LinkedIn, also CNNMoney.com, says that LinkedIn is also now better in stock than Facebook. Now, we all know Facebook has been going through some problems, up and down, and so it used to start, I believe it was back a few shows, it started off $28 to $34 a share, then went down to $17. I'm not quite sure where it's at now, but LinkedIn has indefinitely surpassed that. Invest. And before I go any further, guys, I really want to promote and just say that, vote. Get out there and vote, guys. I know some of you all are putting your hands up so far as, I've heard so much. I've done the debates, and I'm done now. It's so close. It's basically 50-50. Get out there and vote. Very, very important. If you're grown, you're a person of business, you're professional, regardless. Even in the last election, I was not as pumped as I am on this one. The last election, I saw for myself, my own eyes, the youth got out there. And early in the morning, with the Timberlands and the caps and the jeans falling off, they still got up themselves. So if they can do it, you can do it. They got up 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning and vote. So vote, guys. So anyway, guys, as I said, today's topic phrase is the true people of business, okay? And we're talking to the men today. This is Volume 2. And you can check out us on mybtalkradio.com, and you can actually see previous videos, not only on the front page, but also on the previous shows tab. And there's a whole bunch of videos on there. I've done about 25, 30 shows, but it uses about 14 videos on there. So check me out, okay? In the studio live. Or not live, but YouTube. Anyway, guys, sometimes I like to give a little history. So what I can say is, and there's no real history Wikipedia that you can really go to. There's different things you can go to in the different histories of different industries, but let's just be, candid. I mean, let's just be real. From the beginning of time, men have been in business, and since, different industries, they've always been the head of the business and all around the world. And all the texts that you have found around the world, and even back in the day in ancient Africa, Italy, Saudi Arabia, East India, the UK, the US, men have built the businesses from many things that have been created and grown, like crops and serious trade and materials. So, that's very important. That's very important to the backbone, and that's why these elections are so important, because they want to know, is the candidate who's going to be in office, are they really going to back those strong industries that have built our country? So men have definitely had a head in that. Of course, women are now finally starting to get out there. You see women contractors with hard hats, and that's been going on for quite some time, and even on construction sites. So that's good information. However, the premise of the show is to show the different habits that form when these people get comfortable, when you have your grade and they're flowing and everything's fine. Now, what's going on with your ethics? I talked about this also in the CEO show that I had, Leader of the Pack. What's going on with you? Are you training your folks the proper way? Are your contractors clear in communication on a day-to-day basis? Are you following things that you need to do? Are you being professional as possible so that you can continue to make that dollar? I'll mention that later on the show. So, as I said, groups of women who are married, well, let's just say even the history, back in the day when they were doing these businesses, they also did have women which did not get acknowledged, unfortunately, of course, because of the time frame. And the men who were married, or excuse me, the women who were married, related in some type, or unfortunately in some cases slaves. These women helped these businesses that didn't get the credit. But as I said, depending on the time frame, there's so many out there that are available now to us, and it's very, we have made it a lucrative business. Everyone is coming up with their own thing. As I said, there's no business like your own business. So try to go off the coattails, so to speak, of what was before. But like I said, guys, call in. So, okay, now let's get to the bad habits. Let's get to the bad habits and really get down to the nitty-gritty, as I did in the first show for the women. And these bad habits, just so you all know, is brought to you by Bing.com, OpenForum.com, AskMen.com, SmallBusiness.com, and BusinessMain.com. Okay? So, and I also, to tell you the truth, I also interviewed a few people. I interviewed my partner, interviewed a few other males that I do know in different industries, including the IT field. So pay attention, because this is not a bias. This is coming from all sides. I asked both men and women. So, number one, the all or nothing attitude. Now, I spoke about this even earlier today. A lot of you men, women too, but a lot of you men gamble and take big risks on supposed big contracts and, for image sake almost, put all of your eggs in one basket, and then, of course, when it flops. So that's number one. Number two, the God complex. Sorry to say it, guys, but, a lot of you all think that you all are untouchable. And, if you, step on people's heads, okay, and now, like I said, this goes for some women too, for sure, because a lot of women have power trips, and that's, they're trying to compete with men, and that's part of the reason why they have that power trip, because they're just trying to show how tough they are. But in this case, we're talking to the men. So men, you're not untouchable. Things happen. Things happen. It's life. It's what it is. 'Tis life. C'est la vie. This is what, especially nowadays. So stop with the God complex, to thinking you can do anything you want to and get away with it. There is a book, and please forgive me, and the author I am not familiar with, and I'm sure many people out there are right now, who have read the book, and it's called Power. Okay, and it's an orange book with a blue column in gold writing. It's called Power. I have yet to read the whole thing, and I do plan on doing that. But I've skimmed through it, and it deals with the different things that you can do to have power in this world, in this business world especially. And a lot of them, in my opinion, are a little rough. They're a little rough, and they talk about that type of thing, basically God complex. There's nothing wrong with having high confidence. Don't get me wrong about that. I'm just saying, you don't necessarily have to compromise someone else's life in order to accomplish the things that you are after. So that's number two. Number three, this is a big one. Mixing business with pleasure. Okay? We know that it happens. There's sexual harassment. There's all kind of stuff. You guys got to get out of that. It's stupid. It's beyond, what I can do, what I want to do. I can get away with it because I own this company or the other. But it just looks unprofessional. Let me tell you something. There are men out there who think that is not the proper way of doing things. I'm sorry. Number four, calling meetings on everything. That's another big thing. Please, okay? If you are in charge, have an authoritative position or role, stop calling meetings on every single little thing. Oh my God, we're going into another meeting. We're going into another meeting of the same thing. The same thing we talked about last time. The same people are going to stand up and say things. The same people are going to raise their hands. The same people are going to fall asleep. Let's get, come on. And it's like 6 hours long. Thank God, I don't want to have to work, but I got to sit through this. So that's number four. Number five, dress code. Now, I got on the ladies big time about this one last time. And dress code for the men goes also. Men, I understand there are some types of styles where it has to hang, the pants have to be loose a little bit on the ankles, but it still fits around your waist. Stop dropping your pants. It's just not comfortable. I mean, it's not cute. It's not professional. It's not. If you want to be a true businessman, and I'm speaking to all ethnic backgrounds, black, white, Spanish, Asian, polka dot, because we all do the same thing now. They can't say it's just people of color. It's everybody. Everybody's doing that. So anyway, guys, call in 1-877-704-1010 and 410-481-1010 or listen live on WOLB's Baltimore.com. And you can check us out on www.mybtalkradio.com. Make sure you ask or call in, guys, because I want to know, what do you agree with this? Do you not agree? What is your opinion? What have you seen, even in your own family? When you try to go to family, like I said in my $1 Million Hot Dog Show, you have to be professional, especially when you include your friends and family, conduct the interviews. What have you seen? What is your opinion? So call in, guys, 1-877-704-1010. Number 6, the yes man. And I'm going to speed through this a little bit more. The yes man, always saying yes, yes, yes. Be stern. If you're supposed to be a man of business, the role of a man is always something that is supposed to be stronger and it's more stern. Be a man. Be a man of business. Not just in your personal life, of course, but we're speaking business right now. So be a little more stern in what you're saying and more confident in the things that you do. If you're trying to eventually, even if you're in the office, if you're the working person who has a small business on the side and you really would like to make that transition, you need to be thorough. You need to be strong. You need to be stern so you can make that transition, because I'm telling you, the more that you go for what you want, you will attract it. It will happen. So, number 7, actually, more.com. You can like us on, on Facebook. We appreciate you tuning in. Okay, so please drop us a line and let us know that what's on your biz mind, and give me a call. Okay, now what I want to do is give you guys a break. Now that we've already talked about all the bad habits, now let's talk about, give you a list of things billionaires to look up to. Okay, as I did with the women. So, and I spoke about this in the Leader of the Pack. Many of these I spoke about, so we're going to run through them again. Okay. You've got Mohammed Hassan Alamoudi, and he is the richest black person in the world at a net worth of what? $12.5 billion. B with $1 billion. We have Mr. Aliko Danokte at 11.2. You got Mike Adenuga, excuse me for the mispronunciation, 4.3. You've got Patrice Matsepe, and that's at 2.7. Oprah's also at 2.7. Okay. You've got Bob Johnson. He used to be the owner and operator of BET. He's at $1 billion. He went up and down a few times. Unfortunately, he went through a divorce. You got, of course, good old Bill Gates. He's at $56 million, but he is not the top. So let's not mistake that. And let's not discredit him either, because $56 million, or billion, is not hard to come by. I mean, not easy to come by, I should say. You got Carlos Helu, and he is the richest Hispanic individual, and he's at $69 billion. And, of course, Warren Buffett at $62 billion. So, like I said, even when you have these different people to look up to, be professional. You don't necessarily, if you don't have them to follow, come up with your own game plan and follow these very, very simple steps, okay? It's very easy. You just got to do it. That's all. It's a matter of business. If you want your business to be ran properly, do it yourself first, then you can implement it. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break. I mean, these are 101 here. So anyways, we come to the close of our show, guys. I really would like to first thank you all for listening in. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, you can drop us a line on Facebook. But I want to come to the dotted line. What happens on the end of every single contract and deal? You have to come to the what? The dotted line. Since the beginning of time, as I said, men have ruled in business. The men, even in politics, have ruled the way we do business. Even though some women have finally had their role in the business society, men have been dominant in all of that. Nowadays, women and men are more equal, and some women have even surpassed some men. But we are more equal much more than we were even in the 70s. But the statistics show that, since we're talking about men and women and the difference between that, I hate to do it, but women have surpassed in many different situations, but not all. There is a solution, but yet there is a solution. There are things that you can professionally do and change those, as I said, statistics. Be more organized. Stop mixing business. You have to accomplish these simple rules. This is so you can be a true man of business. Well, thank you very much, guys, as I said, for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Drop us a line on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Hit us on LinkedIn, WOLBBaltimore.com. You can listen to us live. Before I go, I got to let you know, there's no business like your own business. This is Miss Robin Annette signing off on Radio 1's WOLB 1010 AM in Baltimore.